All right, we'll wait until you run your commercials again. Just in case you have to, or you have to reload. I'm going to get started by opening our map class map. And basically what I want is one of these images out of our map class map that we've been working on this week, which tomorrow we'll get into doing some more fun things with, like correcting. As you could see, I already did it here, but we'll go through how I corrected getting the silly blue off the roof from the map class. But what I'm basically in here is I got to find out which texture in the foliage layers I wanted to grab. You'll notice that he has a lot of these extra foliage types in here, and that's not the one I want. Let's see, I wanted to get, well, I think it's Bosquet. Yeah, I want to bring in some simple bushes that I can sporadically put around, maybe with a radius of 1, and just click on our map. Yeah, I want to bring some of these over to Pleasant Valley so I can get some extra detail into the map. So what you got to remember basically right now is find the foliage layer you want. You might want to write that name down so you know how to spell it. I'm gonna Bosquet, and I'm going to exit this map without making any changes. Again, I have the map class map, and what you want to do is right click on your map, and hopefully you have Notepad++ installed, and we're going to click to edit the map file with Notepad. Funny, I've been here already. But anyway, if you were at the top and lost, you would do a search, find, and we're going to search for that foliage layer, Bosquet, and keep tabbing down. You can click Find Next or keep hitting Return until you get to the area that has the foliage multi-layer section right there. You have the starting part of the section begins with this caret, and the caret with the slash after is the last part. So that's the part we're going to need first. Then we would go to the map that we're going to put it into. I just minimized that, by the way. It's down here. Just minimize. We'll minimize that as well. We'll bring up my Pleasant Valley 15 map that I want to do, and I am going to click on that map i3D file and edit that with Notepad as well. Now, difference here is I want to do a search, find, and FOLIAGEMULTILAYER foliage multilayer. Find next. You're going to see all the different crops we have in the map. We're not doing a crop type. It's a little bit more in depth, but down here we have several foliage multi-layers, and what we need to do is add another one. So we want to make sure we get just above this layers section here. I'm going to make a little bit of space, and right here I am going to go back to the other map that I have open in the other tab. We'll close this for now. And I'm going to grab this whole section, copy it from this map section, go over to our map, and paste a new foliage multi-layer into here. Next thing we need to do is the density map ID is set to 101. What I like to do, because my map is very large, is we don't want any duplicate numbers for these. So everything I'm going to do is going to, I always put a 999 in front of the number, and you'll see why in a minute. So we'll just change your density map ID to 999101, or whatever, just has to be a higher number. That's my safe way of doing it. Really, really high number, not a problem. Go back to my other map that I'm taking it out of, and this density map refers to a file. So grab the quotes plus the 101 in the middle. Actually, you can just click search and find, and the files are at the top, so we'll scroll all the way to the top, and we're going to start here going top down, and we're going to find next, and you'll see right here we have a file, and it's actually pointing to the wrong density map here because we want to have it labeled Bosquet, but it's pointing, the person who made this map for us named it Arbust, which is one of the other foliage types. So, but basically we need to know that it's a file ID 101 is the density map PNG in the map01 file. So what we're going to do on our map is go to the top files section, and you got to scroll to the bottom of your files, which there's so many in mine that it gets a little bit crazy. I'm going to copy one of these lines here, the last one, and just make a new line, control paste, control V to paste. And I know that we want that texture 999101 is what our file ID is going to be. Back to the other map, I am going to grab this file name just so I have it the way it's looking for it here. Copy that and bring it over into here and just paste the file name in, but because I already am using Arbust and this isn't really an Arbust density picture, I am going to change it to BOSQUET, so we have the right density map. So there we go, we got in our map01 folder, we are looking for our
Jeff connected
density map. Let's see. The other way you could do is if we go back down to in our map, let's do our search for our foliage sublayer again. Find the one that we are adding. You'll see just above it I have another one, and that density map's ID is 132. Copy. Let's go back to the top and we'll do the search for that 132 and see exactly what that file path is. Actually, I didn't get to the top here. And it's map01 Arbust density. See, we already have that one. So we wanted to, so basically we're creating a file pointing to this Arbust density, but I have it now pointing to the new one because it had the wrong name. So it's a little more complicated with this graphic. And it's now, we need the, in the map01 folder of our map, the Bosquet density.png. Very good. Let's go back to the desktop. And in our map class folder, in the map class, map, you'll find the map01 folder. And he has the Arbust density and the Bosquet density, but he had them reversed, so we're going to grab the one that I actually need, the name, Bos density.grle, and I'm going to copy that one. And I'm going to put it into the same place in my PV15 map01 folder. You can see I already had the other one, so I can't have the same name. Paste that in, and now I have the density.grle file. That is step number 1. Getting that density GRLE file that it's looking for in the right place. Alright. Next we're going back down to our foliage multi-layer section, and there is a way to, which I should show you guys, make this easier than keep typing in. But you get used to doing things a certain way, and in a big map, you can click right here and highlight where you were. It's easier to find if you were to just scroll back down. But you could see I'm on line 8000, and there's in this map 598,000 lines, so even just going like this, catching that little blue dot is going to be a trick. I went right past it, so I always end up having to use the search feature, or remember the line number doesn't hurt either. There it is. Okay, so we got the multi-layer density 999101. It's pointing to the right place. Number of channels, that line is perfectly fine. Foliage sublayer name is correct. Next part we're going to deal with is we have a material ID 29. So I'm going to highlight the 29, copy that. I'm going to go to the top of our map, and I'm going to find another place where it has 29 in the materials section. There's 29 in the file IDs, but down here we have 2 clicks down. We have material ID 29. And I believe we're in the wrong map, because what we wanted to do is we want to find 29 in the other map. Find out what exactly file it's placing. Alright, 2 clicks down in our other map, the one that we're taking it out of. And it should say right here, material name, foliage, bosquet, mat, material ID number 29. And that's in the map class map. We're going to highlight from the top to the bottom of that whole material. We're going to copy that and bring that into our map and put it at the end of our materials section, which we'll find a tag for the end of the materials, which again there's a million in this map. So let's scroll down to our material bottom. Alright, we passed it. Up a few pages, and you'll see it by the materials tag. We're going to go after the last material, paste in our new material, and going with the same format that I always use, we're going to put a 999 to that material. Alright, if we go back down in this map to our foliage sublayer section again, down to the one we're working on, which is 999101, we got to remember to put the 999 in front of the material ID as well, because we changed it so it knows what material to use. That down here is pretty much all we need to know about that foliage multilayer, those 2 changes. So we really don't have to come here, but we have more work to do on the material layer. So let's go back and to the top and search for our 99929 line again. There we are, back to material 99929. I save all my YouTube videos, all these Twitch streams, right to YouTube when we're done. And but that's a good suggestion. You can find our YouTube channel on our website, linked down below, for all our map tutorials. I just like to do them live just in case anybody has extra questions that they want, and then we post them up to YouTube as well. Alright, so we have our 99929 foliage layer, and we have a texture file ID of 102, which I'm also going to add a 999 in front of in our map. But on the other map that we're taking it out of, we need to find out just which file texture file ID 102 is. So I'll highlight that with the quotes again. I'm going to go to the top and paste, and I'm going to find, oops, I missed it because I didn't put the cursor at the top of the list. You could scroll through everything. There we go. If you go to 102, you see we have in the foliage folder, we have foliage bosquet diffuse .png. So we are going to take take that line there, copy it from our map we're taking it out of, go to our files section in this map, which is always at the top, but I have 1,000 million files, as you could see. Whoop, went past the bottom. Once again, we'll paste that in here. And because in this map we named it 999.102, we'll link there. Now what we need to do is find in the other map the foliage, bosquet, diffuse picture. So we'll close that and we'll minimize this. Actually, we can save this right now. It was always good. Click your save button because we should be done in there. But we need to find the foliage, bosquet, diffuse in our map class map, and that is in the map foliage, and there we go. We got foliage, bosquet, diffuse. We're going to copy that image and then go over to our other map, which is my PV15 map folder. And then I have it in textures foliage on this one, and you can see all the nice textures. I'm going to paste it in there. Now I got to correct the path because I'm putting it with the rest of mine, so let's bring that back up and put the textures / foliage, and you can always double check. Once again, there are other foliage layers in here, so if I just search for at the top one of my other foliage layers, and it'll scroll down to a foliage. We'll paste the foliage, and you can see we are putting it into, actually it doesn't have the textures, it just has the foliage. So what did I put them? In, I must have 2 folders in there. Let's see. So long since I did this. Is there a foliage? Yes, there is. So we can paste it in here. I'll grab it out of the other folder. You just got to make sure the path is correct. I'll move it out of this foliage folder. And it's foliage, bosquet, diffuse. I'll cut that one out of there. I'll put it with my other one, which is directly in this foliage folder. Paste it in there. We should be good to go. And there's one way we can find out is close this down. Let me change my file path at the bottom one again, back so it's just pointing in the foliage folder. Remove my textures off the beginning, put them all in the same place. Basically it just points to where the file is. We'll save that. Now we should be able to load up PV15 map in our editor and see what we have done, if we have any errors, which you never know. There's a lot to do with these silly little things, and sometimes I get things wrong, and the error log in the bottom when we load up the map will tell us, or at least if it doesn't show up, something will be wrong and we'll have to go, oh yeah, I know there's going to be something wrong already because I forgot to do it. So yeah, we got one more thing to do. And I'll show you exactly what that is, and what's going to happen here is, very possibly, you'll see I do have an error here. And it's telling me the sand diffuse PNG 0 is empty, and I'll show you why that is the case. Close that map back down. One more thing we need to do. Which is something I usually always forget to do. We'll open up our PV15 map again, edit with Notepad, find our last material that we added in, which is at the bottom of the materials section. There's a custom shader, and here we have it set to 46 from the other map. And 46 happens to be that file in the sand diffuse and not actually a custom shader. If you go to the other map and search, find that 46, it will tell you what custom shader you need because it's file ID 46 and it's this fruit growth foliage shader. So we'll highlight this whole fruit growth foliage shader.xml part here. I'm going to copy that, go to our map, in the top, paste it here, and you'll see I need to change that 46 to 61 because that's where our fruit growth foliage shader is. So back down to our, we'll find that 46 right there in our foliage Bosquet mat. We'll change that to the 61 that we need, which is the proper shader. Now if we save that, let's try open up the map again. See if we have any errors, but we should be good to go. Let's see what we have. Alright, check your window down below and you'll see I don't have any errors. That's the first step, nice to know. No errors, map loaded just fine. If we go now to our terrain editing, our foliage panel, we should have the Bosquet option. And we'll turn on foliage and voila, I have bushes. But there was one other thing I wanted to do with these bushes because the color of them is not quite what I want for this map. So I'm going to mess with recoloring an image. And we'll just minimize that so I don't have to load it up right now. But we know that we put in our foliage the foliage Bosquet diffuse picture, which looks lovely like this. I'm now in Paint, which should work just fine. You can use GIMP as well. There are settings in there. But I'm going to see what I can do to mess with the colors. I'm going to bring up the hue, saturation, and brightness. I want to get it lighter green color. Let's see what we can do. I actually probably do better at this in just mess with some levels. Maybe make it a little bit lighter so it makes, there you go, that looks pretty good. I'm going to click OK. Now with any image that you bring up in an editor that has this background which is transparent behind it, when you save as, the foliage will keep the same name to replace over the one I have, but anyone with that you want to use the DXT5 option. And you can leave the generate bitmaps on. We'll click OK. And we save that file. Now if I just bring up my map without even leaving it, reload all textures button is right here. Let's see what happens if it will do a, I'm not sure if it does the foliage layer textures, but it should. It's a little different. I think it's a little weird looking still. I don't like the light green as much. I think we need more green. I made it a little too light. So you can mess around with coloring things a little bit. I want to still work on my graphic, which I have here. So let's undo that and let's try to adjust the color a little bit again. Maybe just let's not mess with the colors so much, but let's try to mess with the brightness alone. See if that gives me the effect I'm looking for. I just don't want it to be as dark on our map, so I'll bring the brightness level, and probably going to have to bring the contrast level up just a little bit to get some of the detail back in. Let's try that. File. Save as. I'm just overwriting the file that's already there. Once again, go back into my map, see what I did. Reload all my textures. Looks a little better. I just wanted it more green. You know what I'm going to do to get more green out of that? Let's see if I can adjust my levels. Whoops, wrong button. Edit, undo, adjust levels. Nah. See, I'm more familiar with doing this in GIMP. What I would do in GIMP. Let's try this in GIMP. Find the image we want in GIMP, which is in my map, foliage, and oh, it's in my work in progress folder. That's why it's not there. Work in progress map, foliage. There it is. Open that up. In here I'm going to use the colorize function. No, we don't want that. Let's bring that over here. Edit. You could mess with the hue and saturation in this as well if you wanted to try. That's definitely greener, but that's a little bit more difficult. Let's cancel that and go to the, let's see, which one? It's been so long since I've selected the color wheel. That's the color balance. Well, you can mess with any of the colors. Let's try, ooh, threshold. Nope. I think it was a filter that I usually use. Let's see, light and shadow, distorts. There's so many things you can do. But there's a color wheel selection that I haven't used in a while. Oh, it's the replace. Map. Rotate colors. This is what I like to do. Basically, you got a color range here and a color range here. This rotate colors, you can alter the range of the new image to a certain area that you want to, and I want to cut out some of the reds that we have and bring it into more of the green area. Let's see what happens. And that's all I need right there. Just bringing up the green a little bit more. Let's try to export that. Now the reason why I don't often use this for exporting, there's a funny problem that GIMP has. We'll save our file. And that is that I always have to bring that back up in here or it messes up the texture, and just resave it in paint.net because, or the textures get flipped upside down. So let's see what we have now on the map for foliage. Probably doesn't look much different than what we have. That's a little bit better green. And that's just messing around with the textures, get you some bushes that look a little bit different. You can experiment with your colors, have a ball. I'm not so sure I'm 100% pleased with them. I'd like to get them brighter like the grass. Maybe I'll do a little bit more fiddling around. See if I can bring up the green level somehow. Messing with the hues. No, don't like that. We'll use the curve. I just want brighter green. What do we got for levels? No, I don't like that. Actually, let's go to levels and select the green level only. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. Bring up the green. Let's see what that one looks like. Replace it again. And you can just tinker around with whatever you're doing in there and just reload the graphics without even getting out of the map to see what you have done. I like the bright green bushes better. I'll have to go in game and see what they look like because they might be overbearingly bright now. I wonder if we can grab. Let's try one more thing. Let's go to File, Open, and let's go into our texture folder, which is terrain textures. Textures, terrain, and we'll find our grass file so we can match up some colors a little bit. Now grass is darker. Actually, that's a terrible grass file to look at, but let's see, grass distance diffuse file. Get something more in that line on this picture and we should be good to go. So I'll leave that swatch up there and try to bring up some level of the green closer to the level of that picture that we have. Maybe I'll mess with some of the other levels. Yeah, we'll try that one. And eventually I'm satisfied. Maybe not this time, but eventually. Yeah. I don't know, I'll have to, yeah, see, they stand out like a sore thumb. I just want green. But I will get a green that I'm happy with. Come on, be the one. I just want it brighter, but I don't want it to be not like that. I'm bluish more than anything right now. Maybe we need to take on some blue. That's more like it. Get rid of the blue. One more look. Oh, they're electric, but I'm closer. That is some bright bushes right there. Awesome. Let's see if we can tone them down a little bit now. We went closer to the direction I'm looking for. Let's bring down the... Well, let's make them a little darker. Let's see. Let's see, where am I? I'm right there. Colors, colors everywhere. Let's mess with my green channel again. See if I could just darken it up. And then I'll want to just knock my contrast down. Yeah, that looks like a nice looking bush. I want to see what that looks like. I'm getting closer. That doesn't look too bad, but it's still very green. They're kind of nice looking. Anybody sees them that they like? What do you think? It's totally different than what we started with. It's got some cool looking, but it's a little electric green. Electric. I don't know who Bob Ross is, so I don't think I watch too much of him. Let's see. Let's cut down some saturation. Yeah, desaturate that sucker. And lighten it up a little. I want good looking bushes. Oh, I remember the song Rock On. Ooh, now I like those. It's a little bit closer to our color scheme with our grass. Not too blaring. I might have taken out a little too much of my green though. Fun with Graphics 101. Let's bring up our lightness a little bit out of there again. I'm very close to being satisfied, which is hard to do. Lots of editing. Yeah, it didn't change it much, did it? Let's bring up my saturation just a little bit. It's such a fine line to get something looking good. There you go. I'm pretty happy with those. Whoops. I'm not happy with hitting. Not happy with hitting the space bar by accident instead of the Alt key, but let's see what happens if we decorate the landscape with those a little bit. I have to go in game to see what they look like too, which could be a trick, seeing as I haven't saved the map all day. Sometimes things just don't appear the way that you want them to appear. But let's throw some bushes out here. Just randomly. Save that map and I'll jump in and see what they look like going down the street before I plant a whole bunch of them. We're gonna rock On to electric. I think I know that song. Something like that. Let's go into the map. Let's make sure we have our map folder selected. I got all these programs open, so if I crash, you can hear my fan spinning probably in the background. We want to go to my work in progress folder. Still exporting. Spring chicken. I'm a spring chicken. Now I have to avoid certain areas of the map. That's the tricky part, or I'll mess up Friday's show. And possibly the whole release. No, I should be okay there. But I'm getting real close to being, I want to do some decorative items on them, and I just need Big Daddy to create a couple vehicles for me real quick, and so I can test some things. If he's listening, you know, vehicles, yeah, that's your department. Let's get moving. Let's start a new career. I wish I was a spring chicken. My doctor told me at 35 that I was a 35-year-old trapped in the body of an 85-year-old. That means that I'm about 95, 99 now, I think, with my spinal disease that I have. It's fused spine. Yeah, I'm a 99-year-old body with a 25-year-old mind on a 50-year-old man. Send you a message in Braille. Can you read that? I'll just say the first word begins with an F and the second one begins with a Y. Oh, let's see. Test folder always has money. Let's buy myself a vehicle. I gotta go look at some bushes. Yeah, let's grab something good, big, bulky. Onward to my new bushes. Are you sure you don't mean 111? Oh boy. You guys always make it interesting, that's for sure. Boy, it's great frame rates when you don't have anything on the map. Should have picked something a little faster though. Yeah, you know, I'm out for a cruise anyway. Don't want to end the stream that quickly. Let's see what the bushes look like, if I can live with them. I might have to find different bushes altogether. Country Boy 4811, thanks for the follow. Where are my bushes? Didn't I plant bushes over here? Am I in the wrong folder? Or perhaps the wrong map even? Or the wrong road? What did I do wrong? Let's see where I was. I'm in my work in progress. I saved the map. I'm on the road. I don't see bushes. I planted bushes. Over by the fairgrounds. We're not near the fairgrounds. Is the release Friday? No, not yet. Oh, here's some bushes. I wish it was Friday, but Friday will let you know when the release is going to be, I think. Depending on how things go this week. Not too bad. They're different looking. They're a little bit green though, wouldn't you say? I liked them better when they were dark, but they didn't fit in. No. Interesting. What do they look like up close? Wild hemp, yeah. I like wild hemp bushes. Maybe I'll tinker with some colors more and see what we come up with. But yeah, they're different. That's for sure. Would not. I can't get them to be like grass green. I got them like some weird color. Hey, we're working on colors. Let's see. Let's go to our colors again. Let's see what we have here. I'm still working it out. We'll get there. Ooh, I think I might like these. What do you think, guys? That fits really well with the landscape, I think. Much better. Yeah, I think that's going to be good. Whoops. Let's save the map. Take another test drive. You guys like them? Hate them? Think I need to tweak something? I definitely think they're much better now. Rabid PC Gamers, thanks for the follow. Do I not have my follower goals working here? Come on. There we go. It's all of a sudden updating everybody. Saving, please wait. That's what I was shooting for, but boy, sometimes working with these colors is a pain in the butt. But yeah, I think it blends much better with what's around it than the last ones looked a little anemic to me. We got to trim this map down. Exporting these files takes forever lately. That's what's going to happen in after this week. We'll be in final testing, hopefully, if we can get there, final testing mode and tweaking and yeah, getting the map down to performance, get all the performance issues, get it, shrink the files that we can shrink down and use, you know, all the crazy stuff we got to do to give you a map this size with all this stuff on it that will run. This time I'll try to pick a faster tractor and remember where I planted them. Performance optimizations was the word I'm looking for. I need to do performance optimizations, which again is a class in itself, but I've got some tools that I could show you guys at some point that I use to do that part as well when we get there. And I'll try to get on more often with little updates so you guys can follow along and see how things are done when I'm not working on something that's going to be a surprise. We got to do pictures in here, which reminds me, anybody that we're getting ready to finish up the map, but we need to have your input as far as there's a forums where I'm giving you the chance to, in our forums you'll see a gallery page, and there is a place where users can post gallery pics. You can post the pic and name it with your username and map contest, and you might just get to be in that one of these 3 pictures, or maybe even the map icon. Take them with the HUD hider if you want to get in that, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, we're going to look for 3 new images that give a good overview of the map, so we have a whole new look and a new icon. And I'm giving you guys a chance to get your entries into our gallery. We'll see what you guys can come up with this time for our new map pictures. And we'll give you credits in the map PDF file as well, which is another thing that's going to take a month to write, but we'll get there. What do we have installed in my folder here? Not many we'll just grab one of these. Oh, let's see what's a good color for today. Orange. That works. A little bit faster. Oh yeah, you gotta have surprises. And I guarantee you guys, I have a big surprise that you're not gonna even know until you... Yeah. I'm not gonna disclose one thing in the map until you find it yourselves. We'll have more about that on Friday as well. But, you know, sort of like the anticipation of getting the fair running in this version, now that you've all seen the fair running, those that have played it. Well, we've got something added in as well that I came up with. There was an idea too that I came up with that I really... Yeah, I don't know if I want to do that one. Some people might get a little upset. But I figured out a way to make it so buildings catch on fire. Wouldn't that be kind of cool? Random fires appear on the map that you have to go put out. Catch your factories on fire and have them start losing crops. That's a whole nother map, I think. Have them start losing inventory until you get the fire put out. That would be kind of interesting. Got that. That's much better. I like those bushes much better. Yeah. I think we can live with those. Fits in. Yeah, I could just picture. I was watching Gunning. I was watching Gunning Gamer's web's thing, and his son was on, and he mentioned something about fire, and I said, I wonder if I could do that. Hang on just a minute, guys. I'm back. Sorry about that. Had to jump up for a minute. Alright, so I got bushes I think I can live with. And I think that should do. If you guys are just tuning in, I did 2 more tutorials I'll get up there, and I gotta edit one out because I really screwed up. But get your GIMP set up. I did a quick tutorial on how to set up your GIMP with the DDS plugin and the normal map plugin, and I also did a quick one on how to do your normal maps and specular maps using GIMP from a regular image, and I'll have those up on YouTube later today as well. And who knows what I'll come up with. But I may be back later tonight. We'll see. I got some stuff I got to do, and some more bushes to put in. But yeah, I think that I think they're much nicer. We'll see where I can put them. I guess I could show you one thing. There's also, before we go, there's a lot more information in those lines we didn't touch. But if we take our map file PV15 and we'll go back into the map real quick, let's take a quick look at that foliage sublayer again, which is down here. Oh, I just scrolled right past it. Find the one we're working on, which was this one right here. Hey, the view distance is set to 1200, which is quite high. You'll see it from 1200 meters. Normal crops are set to 70, 80. I don't even think we need it, because that just means that people are going to have to render those bushes in from a further distance. I'm going to set it back to 500 so they're not like just appearing when you're on top of them like the crops do currently. Some of the other ones are much shorter. Like the forest grass is only set to 60, 70, but the bushes I want to appear a little bit further, and the other map had it set as a default to 500. The other thing I wanted to show you is when we save the map, it automatically renumbers those high numbers. once we saved it in the Giants editor, you can now see that my Bosquet foliage multi-layer is now 134 right in line. So all those high numbers disappear. You can use them again. It makes them much lower. And the material is put in line at number 1816 now. That's all taken care of for us. And then you have here, down here, a width and a height index. If I wanted to make the bushes wider or taller, and I was thinking about trying to do a height of, maybe we'll bring it so they're a little bit bigger, so I don't need as many. I'm going to try like 2.5 by 2.5, and basically the horizontal position, we'll leave it at 0.4. That's where they have set it, and off of the terrain, how high it should be up off of the horizontal position. And the height variance is the variance between bush sizes. Maybe we'll add a little bit more of a variance between the bush sizes, and then we'll save that and bring that into the editor. Now I don't know if they will update with the texture reload. Probably not. I probably have to exit without saving. Here, let's do that. And then reload the thing up, because we actually edited the i3D file again. Bring the map back up and see if our bushes are any bigger. Toss in the soil mod and make you build a factory to produce each fertilizer. Thought about doing that originally. The biggest thing with the soil mod on this map is, and not saying that there wouldn't be a soil mod version down the road, but the soil mod, this whole map, a lot of it revolves around different crops and the growth lengths costing more, because it takes 5 days to do this crop or 2 days to grow that, and the quantities in the factories based off of, we got a little bit higher, a little bit bigger bushes now, you can see, a little bushier. Might not be as noticeable down here, but they're bigger bushes. But yeah, so in this, with the soil mod, they're all much more, every crop that you use in the soil mod grows one growth state per day cycle. So all the crops will come fully, basically advance one stage per growth cycle. So I guess that means if the sixth cycle is ready, sixth cycle, the crop is ready, every single crop on the map would take 6 days to grow. And yeah, you have to tend them along each step of the way, but it would require me to redo the pricing on just about everything and to make it more equalized and stuff. So it's something that I am not at this point ready to get into. But the Fert factory is on fire. Could end up happening someday. You never know. I can do that if I wanted to. I thought it out and said, yeah, we can make that happen. Let's see what's available in FS15. See how the bushes look again. Yeah, you have to check every crop and see if it needs fertilizer or if it needs pH adjustment. Exactly. Quite the mess that would be. I don't know if you know how long that, if you had to wait 7 days, and if you were playing on a server like we are, where you don't advance time, oh my gosh, the map would be good till the 2019 version came out. Takes long enough as it is, especially after this update. You thought it took a long time before. Wait till you see what I got in store for you. One thing I don't have is some fast vehicles. Why don't I have them in my mods folder? Yeah, let's try this one this time. And we'll do it in burgundy. I'm in tutorial mode again, aren't I? Oh, maybe not. Oops, for map? Oh yeah, you think I can reload the file in the file tab rather than shutting down the editor and restarting. You can reload texture files, but you can't reload the i3D, I don't think. Well, you could, I suppose, but you gotta close out the old one. Either way, you get in a habit of doing things a certain way, and that's the way you do them. And everybody does things differently. But maybe I'll teach you some things you didn't know. That's the main goal. I'm still learning myself. But I'm doing a pretty good job learning, I think. Maps becoming pretty popular. I bet you, I haven't even checked yet today, since before, well, I have checked about 4 hours ago, but we were 2 away from 1,000 Facebook likes. I should jump over there real quick after I go see how if my bushes are too tall. Yeah, they're pretty good. I think we'll stick with those. I like them. A little bit bigger. Not much, just enough to fill in the area a little bit. Let's see what Facebook looks like real quick. Hold on a minute. I'll leave that screen up so you guys can't see my Facebook password. Haha. We are currently 1,000. We just hit 1,000. The last person that joined was number 1,000 on the Facebook page. Woohoo! We'll have to get a banner up there. That's pretty awesome. Very cool. Thanks everybody for getting us to number 1,000. And we'll work on 2,000 next. Let's see. Who was number 1,000? Number 1,000 appears to be... Let's see if I can figure that out. Dun, dun, dun. Number 1,000 was... I know I can find this out real quick somewhere. Ivar... I just saw it and I lost it. Ivar Holt. Ivar Holte. Number 1,000. Awesome. I think that's... Whoa. A little drive control wouldn't hurt on this thing. I think that's going to be it for today, for now. I got to get something to eat. Come back a little later, maybe I'll be on. Who knows what I'll be streaming. Got to take a break. I've been working on the map all day. I'll be working a lot of it this week. I still have stones to get rid of on the default map, I notice. Because we're not going to be doing the stones right now. Remind me to take those out. I'm thinking we're gonna start everybody with just a tractor and a log puller. What do you think for the starting? Who is number one? Well, that's me, of course. I presume on the Facebook site, I think I was number one. I should have been. I set it up. Oh, wait. Maybe you don't like your own. Well, then again, who knows? It's been up too long for me to check. But thanks, guys, for watching. We'll see if we can get you some more tutorials up here relatively soon. Oxen cart. Good idea. Bring up the old oxen cart. Alrighty. Yeah, I agree. Just give him an ox and a cart, and we'll make him. Actually, how about that little mowing sickle or whatever? That isn't there a push mower out there? We'll just give him a push mower. That sounds like fun. Starting vehicle. Everybody gets a push. Well, we'll just not even everybody. We'll just put one push mower in the middle of the map and let everybody fight over it. All right, guys. I will catch you later. Thanks for stopping by.